Welcome, guys. Welcome. Another Wednesday. Awesome stuff's happening, and the market looks good. I like it so far. I'm not gonna cover it as normally what I'm doing with the CoinGlass stuff as well, because technically we just did it like a couple of hours ago. Not much change on that with Viking the stream. So for now, I'm gonna focus on the main ones, just because I'm gonna go away for the week. uh, for the trip. I'm not going to be able to sit here and watch the coins what I want. I'm going to be on, a little bit more on mobile and not that much on the charts technically. So I just want to point out some things I'm looking forward for and what I'm preparing myself as well for. And yeah, that's going to be actually for the next week or two ish before the new month and new week's gonna open up. Interesting stuff's happening. We are potentially aiming for really nice things. What's coming to us if we start to hold major structures. So diving into it, I'm gonna go straight into the VIX. Same thing, not much change. I seriously love that we went below the 14. That's awesome, great stuff. This box, what I'm aiming for. I really hope we're gonna hit that. That means the market's gonna spike up as crazy if we're gonna go below or around 13-ish points. I will love that. But as well, keep in mind, coming into that box means we might do one more and then have a continuation. So that's always gonna be a thing with VIX and volatility index. So that's always happening technically, right? You've always let those turn around, so keep that in mind. Either way, the aim is to go lower constantly. So similar things what we did over here, right before those big pumps. So that's the technically a little bit as well the bear market area. Not talking about it right now. So far, aim is simple: keep it below 14 and 17. Nothing above that. That's fine. Everything below that, perfect. Simple as that. Keep it simple. All right. So that's one. Dixie, yeah, sidewaysing a little bit more than I expected. I seriously was thinking that we're gonna drop, but that might still gonna happen in one of the days. Just looking by the structure of it, we had that not really liquidity grab, but the high of it right now. You just seriously want to lose stuff. So losing 97,777, really nice level. Losing that, that's continuation, just because this hip over here been already tested technically, and what's left is only the one from 96. And I seriously will wish to go there and see that area. So that means that market's gonna be picking up, or we might do some sketchy things, and that's gonna be something like that, right? Some sideways moving. Let's see how that's gonna play out. So far, he's facing to go lower. Total 3, that's the only one what I'm aiming for. Technically, this is not really needed anymore. We regained that previous high, that's great, and we're holding the 998. That's good. That's freaking good. Now, if you start to pop the technically 1 trillion, right? If we start to pop that, then this high not gonna be matter anymore because it's been already tested and it's gonna fly. So that's what I'm aiming for. That's the whole, technically the whole market with everything into it, and that's the volatility what you want to see into it, right? Just pop off this high, and then eventually the rest not gonna be better, and we might see some bigger things happening on it as well. That's good. That's great, and that's really awesome. Now, packs start to get interesting. I like that. My pack spot start to pick up on it as well. It was still in sideways, but I seriously like that we from this low what we settled, we had a test of it and it was really good one, and we had a pop to it. That's good. Now regain this high, we might even see retesting of 334.26 area. I'm really not sure if you're gonna fill the wick, just because it's gold, and if gold picks up, then market does a little bit the opposite. I seriously don't like that. For me, it's good if you start to range, and then maybe one more grab of the liquidity, one way or another way. Still holding the 3.3, that's fine. That's perfect. I like that. So technically, the bot is doing okay-ish. It's not really the best in ranging what I'm having on it, but still it's good. I like it. And yeah, I'm seriously as well like aiming-ish. If we start holding this in a range, doing something like this, we might see a pop in 3.7, and then that might be the, I don't know, the retest of the lows. So, but that's only if we start to regain this. And to be honest with you as well, looking at on a daily perspective, you start to squeeze quite heavily, right? So anything like this, you know what that means. So let's see. But it's good. It's really good. Somehow M7 is doing okay-ish. Not major things changing. But yesterday, this is a little bit different now. But yesterday we had nice pops on the war dogs, surprisingly. But that's more likely because the earnings came in, and most of them been green, I guess, from most of the companies. So, well, not everyone. Sorry, that one had some losses, but that's always. So most of them are doing quite okay. If we're aiming for the war dogs, I'm not really keen that anymore on it, just because it's getting a little bit sideways on them. But it's still interesting to jump maybe on one of them if the news start to heat up about it. But that's only if something major gonna happening in the world. But then you know in which case you want to look at them. And I had, oh, there it is. If you are interested in them as well, if you missed the stream from Smyrn, then I'm having here like a sheet, which one means what and what they do. I'm sorry, there is a chart in front of it, but I hope you're gonna be able to read it through it. You zoom in a little bit. If not, it's gonna be not. Yeah, it's readable. Sorry, I might find a better one, but that's the chart. What the tickets means, what they do, and what they kind of offer, right? So this is well interesting to keep an eye on it, maybe. Now, the next major thing that I want to talk about it before I'm gonna jump totally on the Bitcoin chart is the CME gap that we are facing to. So far, we have a low. Technically, we start to confirming that low. Not really the full confirmation yet for me. That's going to be only if we start to regain the previous weekly. That was somewhere over here. And then we start to fill the gap, right? So that's the aim as well for right now. And that's going to be till we're going to go higher. If not, we still can fail this. We still can turn around. But that's going to be in a second more. But yeah, we're facing to get quite close to the CME gap right now. And it's been a while. We had that big CME gap, so that's, I guess it was somewhere over here. One was that kind of big, but yeah, interesting stuff. Now the dominance, that one surprised me kind of. I was aiming for February. That's what I was saying as well. And after that, that dump that we went lower and retest February and the failure of it, great stuff. Now we want to continuation and to have the continuation and a failure of yearly. That's if that's said, that's gonna happen. We're gonna go straight to Q4 in the December. That's really freaking awesome. Why? Let me zoom out on it. If we start to go to Q4 and coming close in that area, that means that's the third break of the structure of the dominance, and then we're gonna face to go to the biggest flip of the dominance that we had before we had this run up. So technically, that's freaking awesome. But now we want to see something like this coming into it, close anything below, and then it's gonna be interesting what we're gonna do because we can do it on both ways. We still can go lower, straight up. That's all possible. Or we're gonna turn around and do a freaking move to the downside in September next month, like everyone is talking about or aiming for it, and then we're gonna do the bigger move. That's both scenarios are possible, right? For it would be nice to do straight to the downside and do the whole damage, and we have the bull market or whatever, or the alt season. I mean, that's fine, but who knows what it's gonna be. So far, we're still aiming to go there. And that's going to be only if we start to lose the yearly, what we are kind of doing right now. Let's see how we're going to start to close and coming close to the Q4 and the December level. That's going to be the major move to the downside. That means market is going to push. We're going to go there. Kind of awesome if you ask me, but dominance on ETH, still piling, so that's good. Still doing it. That's really awesome. And to be honest with you, I'm really surprised about it, how it's behaved. And it's really good because finally I can stop memeing about it and start to take it a little bit more serious. Before I'm going to move to the charts, I just saw it on my different monitor that we start to get on the 4-hour close. Oh, let me zoom in. We start to pile in some bits. So, where is it? 1 hour? Yeah. That said, we aiming straight still to go higher. Why? Because this is still a magnet for us, right? We close above this hip. That's good after the retrace what we had. Now we aiming to get those bits and go higher to this pocket. We kind of get close to it. They start pulling the first area of it, and now we are aiming to still get it. That means that's potentially going higher. Any pull back on higher time frame means we're gonna retest this high, or sorry, this low, so the 110 area, or we're gonna get lower to seriously retest this swing over here. Why? Just because that grindy. Is there any tool to throw brush? What is this? Just because we're doing this. Okay, that's the brush. All right, so we still can wipe all of it over here and then that. Sweet, I never used the draw tool on the Satoshi bar. Okay, fair enough. Right, we still can do that. Or even wick lower. That's nice that they start to stack the bits and move them around. I like when they move them around. They are not static. That means that's not like algorithms are doing, but they are like proper traders or people who know what they do when the stack and they want to get filled or move the price in one direction. So, putting that on the side, fixing everything what I broke over there. Now, moving on. I guess, and then I'm gonna go to the next one. A lot of liquidity coming in, leverage liquidity coming in, and that's good. We start to fill the gaps in between the moves. So that's really good, especially this move over here. That's been skipped, and now they start to fill it up. So that means we might even go higher, and that's really good. I like that so far. If you not start to lose anything. And the move to the downside that I just mentioned is as well nice to see that I am over here. We have the 100 X's over here. We can come back lower to take 150 and 100 X's and then bounce from it. That could be. That's possible. If not, we still can go higher. But there is a small gap in between. So we need to push a little bit more for it. But yeah, that's good. We see that the bulls are stepping in. Same thing, we hitting the resistance and the stale stops as well. So they're getting a little bit overheated over here. But we start to squeeze. That's nice to see. And potentially we still can go higher. And the volume start to pick up as well. So I like that on 4 hour. I seriously like that because it's been a while that we had that's such a nice stacked volume coming in, right, into the market. So I like that. So far, so good. Okay, now the interesting stuff that I want to talk before I'm gonna go to the tokens. So capital flow index. This is seriously interesting to watch. Exchanges coins are doing freaking well, and seriously, I'm surprised actually how good they're performing right now. So that's potentially still continuation, right? But if you're gonna see something like this, right? So that means they are start to sell off, and you might look for some shorts on it, but be cautious on it because we still can go higher. Smart contract and privacy. Still, from the bottom on, went straight as higher it is to 45-ish area. So that's good. Now, the more interesting stuff is happening over here. The ones that I potentially look for longs. Why? Because they are quite bottomed. And if you start to see this flip, that means you have the rotation into the sectors. And that's as well potential to have got any nice longs on AI, DeFi, data, or even NFTs. Right? It's still possible. But the most important thing as well is gaming. That's interesting to seriously to look into it, because we're still below the neutral line. So there's still potential on it, and that's only on 12 hours. But if you go higher up in the time frame, so if you look at the higher time frame on the percentage, they are even lower. So yeah, potential to pick up, definitely. AI, for sure, minus 41%. That's the best area to look for some coins. Good coins, not random coins, but good coins who can perform in any kind of positions in the flip when we're gonna see in the rotation on the sectors. So yeah, that's what I'm kind of aiming and looking at most of the times when I'm using the capital flow. And looking at it weekly, I mean, that's no brainer, right? Gaming minus 48%. There should be like definitely 10 projects on top of my head that they are seriously good and interesting to invest into it, or even look at it. Right? Sports, maybe I'm not really that key on that or like that interested into it. Metaverse could be interesting, definitely. And even look at the weekly privacy coins can still go higher. Look at the exchange on every single time frame. They are like freaking highest as it is. So it's rarely that you see that. Meme coins can be interesting if you like that kind of risk into it. But yeah, so that's how I'm using this stuff. And as well on my own portfolio, like no brainer that this is area to take profits on those tokens. Definitely why I've just hit the all-time high. That's always no brainer. Solana start to pop, and what's happening with those start to pop as well, the rest gonna follow, right? So no brainer at all. Let's not talk about this. That doesn't matter. That's that to me. So far on the different on the daily and the 12 hours, still hype is the outliner for it, and it still goes higher, and it still can go higher. Same with Solana. Same with what we have over here. ETH as well have potential to, for the continuation, right? After the pullback on it. So that's really interesting. I seriously occur a lot of people to start using capital flow index, and I have a lot of alerts set up on every single level that it's something's gonna hit on each of the tokens as well. So I like that. It's just no brainer, and it takes really a lot of time spending on charts, because you just look at it like what's performing, what's not, where should I take profit, that's this, where can I invest, that's this, that's all, and where can I maybe add up to it, that's neutral line. Like most of my students are already starting using this, and it's seriously really good tool. So now moving on to the biggest meme coin, I guess. So far, like I've been saying, really nice run up, really nice regain, retest almost of the previous daily, and now we start to close above the daily. Great stuff. That means we can close above this hip. That's awesome. What do we need to do? Technically, yes, regain the previous daily low and the previous weekly low. That's the main lookout for. And technically right now we are aiming to have a bearish retest on the weekly, doing something like this, and hopefully regain of it, right? I hope that this not gonna bring us over here or even lower anymore. Technically there is not much to take lower than the 150x's that you set up this today. The rest what's over here, not that interesting. This was really interesting, was really nice and really thick, and we took it to the T. We went literally to the dead zone that we always been mentioning, that we have a turnaround from that one. Great stuff. It works. But still, if and only if we start to break and we finally hit that Q3 that I've been aiming for ages, still possible, right? If we start to get have any major failures, then the biggest box that I'm aiming for is between June and February. This is the biggest box that I'm gonna long the shit out of it, or even ladder into that area over here, right? Just because this is the major low that you can lose on the highest time frame. Just because if you start to break that, that means bad things for Bitcoin, but that's only for Bitcoin. Doesn't mean for the market. So yeah, that's what I'm aiming, but I hope it's not gonna get there. I just want to go over and go higher. Why? Because I'm aiming right now for as well still bearish retest of the previous high. I don't think we're gonna get maybe we're gonna get wick into it, like something like this, and close below and then do another leg down. And potentially what I'm technically thinking that Bitcoin's gonna do is something like this one, and that's gonna bring you over here, another one, and don't look at the time frame, but something like this might work, or even two, and then do the bigger move to the downside. Why? Because technically we are already like overdue for it. High time frame as well, and I think we are running out of the steam already, out of the steam from Bitcoin. That's my theory about it. It doesn't mean that they need to be right, but that's what I'm thinking. And let's see. I really want to get proven wrong, and that's gonna be seriously going for 140 and whatever people are thinking. But so far, we're struggling with this area between 100 and 120k. So yeah, not really shows the weakness, but it shows that we're running a little bit out of the steam. And you can see already the flip in the market. Ethereum, how quickly and better it's picking up already. Solana start to do some moves on it, and yeah, so I think that's time that the rest of the market is gonna carry on, right? Because this whole move from ETH been freaking strong. You cannot deny that this regain of this bullshit price action over here, this is freaking strong. So, and it took us what 2, 3, 4, 5 months to this price action to go from the low, almost lowest point, to the highest already. So yeah, so that's why. That's kind of what I'm aiming for Bitcoin right now. And to be honest with you, there is some resistance happening as well. There is some cash outflow on the high time frame. So if we're gonna see another cash flow reversal on the weekly, and that's gonna be the lowest one, because technically this is the highest point, this is the mid, and that's the lowest one. So we already doing something like this. We might see negative one as well coming in. So let's see how that's gonna play out. It's weekly, so it takes a lot of time to play out, but definitely something to consider. And I think we're gonna or do a bigger range, or we're gonna fail that and seriously go to the low time frame, to this area over here, to break stuff on the high time frame, and then start to roll over maybe to the bear market for Bitcoin only for now. I will not mind. I'm waiting to short the Bitcoin. So that's, I guess, on the Bitty. There is not much liquidity left to grab to the downside, like I've been mentioning. To the upside, yeah, that's the wick what I'm kind of aiming, that we might get max like kind of 130 area, maybe. Let's see, that's stretched. And if not, I'm starting to watch out for those levels over here. So yeah, so far, let's go and do some damage to the upside, right? Switching this off. Now, look at that. What a beauty. After the first failure of the regaining the high, what we failed, we hold quite perfectly, almost to the T on this structure. That's really nice. I thought we were going to go a little bit lower. Anyway, we break out of the all-time high. That's great stuff. Now, this area, technically, I'm aiming for a reversal on it. not really keen on shorting it. Maybe let's see how the price action is gonna be on it. But so far, if we start to get into that area, I might look for a potential reversal on that one. And that doesn't mean we're gonna go way lower, but what I'm aiming for, it's gonna be something like this, coming into it, fail that, and then, or we're gonna hold this structure, or we're gonna retest one of those ones. So anyway, we're gonna have this and this for the continuation. I do not think we're gonna get there, just because, let me switch this off, just because we didn't really feel the liquidity. And to be honest with you, Hype doesn't care about liquidity that much. We can leave this behind. We did it so many times over here and here. They get thinner, but it used to be way thicker back in the days. But they don't care about that much about this liquidity. And as you see, we do not really feel the liquidity when we go higher. So yeah, that's why I'm aiming some over here. This 150 exit, that's fine. But those levels, retesting this structure, and if not, then it's going to be a little bit this below, right? Barely got tested. Yeah, barely. Why that area on Hype? Which area on Hype? This? Oh, just because of this area over here. Like we grabbed this pocket, that's why I'm aiming here, because there is not much left. I mean, fucking hell, Hype can do whatever they think they do and want to do. They can even do this, right? But that's just my kind of aim, what I'm seeing on the chart, and how I see this, for example, the band coming into it. So if we're gonna go higher, right, that band's gonna move as well over here, and it might get us from over here, and then we're gonna go higher up. All possible. And to be honest with you, take all of this a little bit with a grain of salt, just because Hype doesn't give a shit about the liquidity, any bands, and it's definitely none of the levels, what we said. Hype is seriously really key on structure to hold that. That's the most important what Hype is doing. Because that's the only thing what so far keep Hypes going, and they keep it to the T always. Like this low didn't been lost, this didn't get lost, almost but didn't. This low didn't get lost, this got lost, but we holding on the major ones. That's the swing, right? So that's how Hype it's kind of working. That's why I'm aiming. It's gonna be or this or even this one, because this one didn't get tested fully. So that's the thing as well. And there is no order books on above us, a little bit below, but even that, this area is massively big. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm aiming for. I'm seriously thinking we're gonna run a little bit out of the steam, or we're gonna be pushed higher. That's all fine, but still, I'm long from here, and I have one position from here, so that's all good. That was a nice one, and still, I always take profit on all-time high. That was 30%, I guess. Remember, did I? Yeah, that was even to the freaking T. That TP level over here was freaking good. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm aiming for. Have a reverse some over here, or even we might do it right now as well. I don't mind. I will refill it, but then we will do something like that. We might hold this and then have a continuation. So yeah, that's really nice. I like to see this, that we're gonna go a little bit higher on it. Next one. Now, both are kind of important for me. That's injective and AVAX. And what we have been doing with injective AVAX is kind of similar, both sides. We're squeezing quite heavily on them. And if we start to hold the lows, especially this low on injector right now, as we've been doing, regain this weekly, it might bring us over here to September. And this is my aim. Technically, I want this to be flipped. That's going to be that's the biggest high time frame RSI that we need to flip from the bottom of support to resist. I mean, we are in the support right now, because that's the freaking flip over here, what we did, that failure. Now we need to flip that for to go higher. So moving on, this is what I'm aiming right now. This is my as well bigger TP. I don't care anything above this, because most of the structure has been tested already. That was the bearish retest of this structure, and this structure tested over here this week. So this been tested, and now I need to see the regain of the weekly, and then off we go to September. From that point of view, yes, we still might do something like this, coming back, hold this, and then you have the continuation if that plays out. If we're not gonna go straight to higher. Okay, now I'm gonna have tons of messages coming in. Okay, can focus. Anyhow, that's what I'm aiming for. Injective, technically as well on AVAX. For me, they are trading quite similar. They have a little bit outlined it on the structure, but still, it's the same principle and the same similarity in the chart. So same thing, flip the weekly, we go to Q4 on AVAX, and that's as well the flip on AVAX a little bit above. Same thing, just because that's hold us constantly to the downside, and now we start to base to regain that, and that's what I want. After that, on AVAX, I'm seriously aiming 55. I never aim for the all-time high on it. I'm always aiming for the biggest previous biggest swing. That's 55-ish area. That's on AVAX. Injective, that's going to be around this 25 area. That's going to be the bearish retest of this structure, and that's what I'm aiming for, a bigger position. So far, there is still continuation, but we see some weakness coming into the market. So as well, going lower or starting to get into the lower positions, that's fine. I'm still aiming. Technically, this box been played out already. Let me switch this off. So still June or Q3 to come back and for the bigger swing, right? Do something like this. That's what I'm aiming for on injective right now, and I'm still gonna ladder into it. I'm in the position already in twice, actually. I took this one and now I took this swing. So yeah, still in position. Let's see if we're gonna regain the weekly or we're gonna have a bearish retest on it. That's still fine. Then the bigger stuff is coming in on here on the Q3. That might be the last lower position on it to go to the highs and to regain anything, just because then of course we're gonna start to break anything to the downside, and we don't want that, right? Technically, we don't aim for that. So yeah, and I realize that we are struggling a little bit just because there is overlapping resistance on it, and seriously, those levels been quite heavy for us because it kept us to the downside for quite a long time, and now we start to base it and try to regain anything to go higher. Same on AVAX, same thing. This played out already. Same thing as well, Q2 and Q3. That's the aim. I'm not even sure that we're gonna reach that on AVAX, just because that one goes a little bit stronger and pre-run the injective one always, so that's good. But then if we start to get lower, then May, March. I guess that's March as well behind. Oh, sorry, June, May, June level. That's still I want to hold. We've been doing that for a second time. Maybe we're gonna see some wicks in play if we start to come in, but then I want to have a V bottom regain and then start to regain this. And as been mentioning on injective, AVAX face as well a lot of resistance above us. But flip this, regain this resistance, flip this, where do you go? There is nothing over here. So February and yearly it is. Easy as that. Right now you're gonna have struggles in it. You're gonna do this, but doing this, and then off you go. Right? So yeah, it looks really heavy. It is. This is. It's been a while. I saw so many overlapping order books on the chart on the high time frame. But yeah, it took us quite for long below all this price action. So now we need to regain it technically. So yeah, That's oh yeah, Solana. I want to talk about it because that's what I'm aiming as well. And look at that, freaking hell! It didn't even come to this tuber. That's nice. I've been mentioning that as well from last Sunday. Yeah, Sunday we talked about that. We need to flip the 209 level. That's exact the same thing as on the injective and on the AVAX. That failure of this 229 that took us all the way to freaking, where did we go? 94-ish even. That's been really a lot of time struggling to regain. And now we finally might see the flip on it. I technically you want to see this. I'd go straight to February, fail that just because we've never been there again before the failure. Coming back into the structure and then go and try it again. Coming back now, failing weekly, possible. Yeah, we close 12 hours below. So now it's on the daily to close above the weekly. So closing anything above that, you might come back to retest the daily now and still off you go. I don't think Solana gonna come. I mean, never say never. But I don't want to see Solana coming back into this pocket over here. I would not like to see that. Can happen, but I would not like to see that. But that's my takeaway on Solana. Flip this to 209 level, and off you go to February. So that's a seriously nice move actually on it. Yeah. You can already feel and see that we are quite coming in with the volatility and volume. If the price start to front run quite heavily on your levels or on the structure. So yeah, that's nice. That's really nice. I like this 4-hour close as well. Still didn't regain, but I like that it's closed above the weekly. So that's good. Gucci, Gucci, Gucci. What do we have more? Jesus. That's nice. I was talking about the green dildos. Fucking hell. Yeah, there's nothing else left than bearish retest 0.3. Yes. This is it. It's nothing else. We might not even retest, we might go even straight to 0.5, but I doubt it. Yeah, let's see. Pro can surprise everyone, and it always does when it does the big moves. So yeah, that's gonna be seriously interesting to watch. It's still going. Is there anything else interesting? What are you doing? Ooh. Nice. That's gonna pop. If you're gonna close above the weekly. Speaking about privacy coin. Jesus, this is so controlled. That's why I don't like privacy coins. The moves are way too controlled. This mic can go lower. It was a seriously nice move up. So let's see. Still holding. Regaining this stuff over here, where we struggle right now. It's gonna bring you even to August. First. Still didn't regain that. Fender had a nice move. Yeah, let's see how that's gonna play out. I like this on it because there's a lot of liquidity forming here. That's good. But I need to regain some stuff. I'm going a little bit too sideways. I think. Pulling off, failing, holding the major structure. So that's still, yeah, it's still good. Technically retest this swing. Still can. So link, you can see it over here. Link still can do something like this, right? And then pop. It always does. Yeah, always doing a little bit sideways, grinding, forms of liquidity. That's why you're doing that. Or most of the coins, right? Low, lower, lower, and then you're gonna pop. Why? Because trapping so much stuff over here, and then you just grab it, and thank you very much for the lift. So yeah, holding this 22 area, that's a good spot, and then regain this. Of course, is gonna bring you higher. But don't be surprised if that starts to grind. So far, yeah, it's really doing good. This was a quite nice spot to take profits. That was mentioning February level, right? We've been struggling with it. Now, if you regain, you might do the pop, but nice stuff. Nice stuff. EAL, Jesus, privacy coin. Yeah, I'm already scared for that chart. That's a privacy coin. Is that the right? Bro, it's only on Unis. What? Late token? You cannot chart. You cannot trade this shit. Only on the DEX, right? Wait. Please be careful. Be careful with it, please. It's not something usual to trade. If they are not even listed somewhere else, then only on up. But then only on V2 is a trust score okay. Okay. But how did you come up with it if you don't own any? Someone mentioned to it, or did you just looked it up? I mean, like, what you doing? Looks like that we're doing XRP all over again. Technically, if you have something from the lows, then yeah, I guess that's fine to do kind of H4, HX to get there. But fucking risk, yes. Thing. There's not much to fucking chart. This gonna go sideways. So yeah, what you need to watch out for it. Now you go over here. Yeah, this. You can buy something over here, and then hope it's gonna get someone over here someday. Yeah, this sucks. You know already what they're gonna do is bearish vectors over here. So at least you can expect that we're gonna come here and do another sideways move, right? For ages. That's been they've been doing. So, and this looks a little bit too perfect, too controlled. Oh yeah, this is what it is. Give a check. No way, we did it. Okay. I have really nice failures. I don't know what it is, but it's clean. Hold as well. So August it is. Fail that. Here you go. Bang. March it is. Good stuff on it. Nice hold. Bert. Mm. Okay. Think I've been here. Okay, yeah, somehow you hold this shit. Like, yeah. Nice flip. That's definitely a nice move. Flip December, where do you go? Q4. There's nothing else in the way. Yeah, see? Maybe a little bearish retest. No, that's been tested. That's been tested. Been tested. That's done. And oh, fucking hell, everything's been tested. So yeah, nice move on it. That was freaking good move. Did the super flip caught that? Don't show it to Stu. But yeah, nice move. But this price action is freaking odd. Yeah, grinding. It is, right? Jesus, even this hold. Daily retest. You didn't freaking even come back for it. Hold of the weekly. This is strong hold. This is freaking strong. Now you need to flip the December. Yeah, that's when it's gone. If you didn't catch anything over here, then yeah, that's done. But it still could do something like this, right? But I don't think so. If you have this kind of price action, forget that it's gonna do some sideways moves. Sorry. Or bigger sweeps. That's nice. Yeah, that's juicy. And you skip already quite a bit of liquidity. So if you come back, you will need to come back to previous daily. And you bounce again. Maybe same as you did over here. Nice. Cool stuff. Yeah. That one is going quite strong so far. And I see that we start to pop on the... Okay. Would be nice. Objective still a little bit behind. Okay. Yeah. Only thing what I really want to see is just close above this previous daily low. Close this. That's gonna be fine. And then you might see a small pullback, right? And then a continuation. That would be cool. That would be really cool. Oh shit, Mark. Your question about the ladder in position. So technically, you need to answer your own question with it, like how much you can be able to invest into it, right? So let's say what I'm doing is if I have 100% of my funds, I'm taking 50% of that, and I'm use that in a trade, right? So that 50%, for example, what you can do, the best thing to learn it is to use stupid fibs. Why? Doing that. Right, you have your triangle with the orders or those lines, or if you don't like this, that doesn't make sense. What you can do, what I use with my students as well, is something like range. Form this, and you can make it as thick as possible. You can add stuff to it. Wait. Open this one. Right. So you have multiple orders, but you can place on those levels or around those levels, whatever how you find it. And then the key on it is to push your average entry as low as possible. It all depends if the price will go there, of course, right? So it doesn't need to say that the price will go around over here. It still can do like this, reverse literally even before you start to ladder into that, right? So that said, you are never sure that you're gonna get hit all of the orders what you placed. But even then, that's fine if that's gonna hit and you're gonna make profit, whatever, and you have just a small position. Or sometimes you're gonna get this, and I like to re-enter rest of my position over here, right? But that's risky because you don't know if that price not gonna go against you. So yeah, you just start with that 50% of funds what you have, right? You just spread them as small position, small, and then start bigger, as big as it possible gets, as lower as it goes. But that means as well laddering in to the position and keeping your stop loss as tight as possible. That's nice, but you need to remember that your position get bigger, right? Because you don't need to use your 50% if you are doing normal trading with, for example, I'm gonna use like only 1% of stop loss and I'm fine with it. So then 1% and I'm fine with it, right? That's cool. But then no matter what you add to that position, if it's gonna be 25% or it's gonna be 10% only, and you spread them through like different coins, that's up to you. But over here in laddering, you will need some more funds into it. Why? Because you need to push your average lower. You're not gonna do it only with 10 bucks, 10 bucks, 10 bucks, 10 bucks, 10 bucks, because that's not gonna push anything lower. It's gonna stay, and then you just add to the position, and your price still goes lower, right? Nothing happens to it. So that's technically up to you what you like about it and how you like to trade. I seriously like to trade. Most of the times, what I'm doing is seriously like I'm not even bothered anymore to ladder in, or if we have the option on the exchange to have like spread orders, right, similar as this, then use that. That you can have that as well, or try to be consistent with like, for example, 1%. It's a little bit small, but still 1% trades and keep doing that, right? That's what I'm doing. I used to ladder into the positions like so heavy, but it took so freaking lot time and patient that I stopped doing that and I just like do freaking one or nowadays it's like 2.5% of stop loss and then the rest I can freaking roll with it. But what I like to do, like what I said, but that's a little bit more risky. So for example, if I enter over here, right, and my stop loss is like 2%, it did been hit, and I'm seeing this price action, like we're gonna go up, we start to hold this, we start to reverse. I like to add to that position quite heavily in it, and then I can move my stop loss a little bit closer to the previous low, right? So it's gonna be tighter stop loss, more heavier position, and just because we hold something, for me, that's a confirmation with this candle over here that we might go higher, right? But that's more because I'm on structure based. I'm only using technically structure and swings, which is cool. You can screw it, but guess it cannot work out. The thread because you don't know which levels will be hit. Can't work out anything. Wait. Wait, what? Why not? You can. I use Hyperliquid as well in scaling. So let's say you're doing this, right? What's the good? Okay, never mind this. This is fine. So you're having this, like over here, this price action didn't come. So imagine that this pricing doesn't exist. So, right, you know, when you hear, right, and this is your stupid fib, you still can use those price from the stupid fib to ladder in on Hyperliquid. You still can put that spread positions through all of this and even lower than that, right? 10% or something like that. Because when the price gets to that, it will get most of it and then to that, you know. Why? Because technically it wasn't technically the whole bullish stupid fib, but you get the point, right? If you know the structure and you know that this might be your area to ladder in, then yeah, you can use that. Yeah, I agree with you, GB. Yeah. And I guess most of the people that I as well uh, thing is as well over here, right? You know your structure. So what most of the people that I know, what they will do, something like this area ladder in with shitloads of positions. Can be small, but spread them through all of this because even then, price will go over here and reverse on you and go higher, right? Maybe you're not gonna get the perfect average entry, but you're still gonna be covered, and that's like you're gonna be stopped out if you're gonna have too tight stop loss, because it's quite heavily super fib. Oh, basically, this is as well as super fib if you get there. So there it is, right? You can use that as well. You get close into it, and that's your area to ladder in. Doing that manually, that's crazy because that's freaking more than 10% movement to be invalid, right? But yeah, spread those orders like that might be even better. But most of the days, like when I'm trading my manually, like for example on those tokens, I'm keeping like 1.5, 2% stop loss, and that's most of the times it's fine. Like if I get stopped out, fuck it, whatever, next one. Or I re-enter again because I got stopped out like seriously like by a couple cents or whatever. That's pissed me off, but then I re-enter and move on. uh, mm, Okay. Good. You like it? It's doing. Okay. Okie dokie. Yeah, this this could be like seriously like freaking tight stop loss as you can get. Like if you re-enter on the daily, keep it below the wick. Like fucking hell. Look at that. Sui 1.1. Yeah, I take that. I missed that. Not really like trading Sui anymore. Used to do. Oh yeah, I had some trades going on, but sometimes I forget about it. They even exist. Anything else, guys? Um, give me 2 minutes. I need to go open the door for my girlfriend. She forgot the keys. Be right back. Type in if you want to see anything in the chat, and I'll come back and I will have a look. Back. I'm back. I know you love my shitties. Yeah. They give me nightmares. Is that a shitty what you want to anyone? Seriously? The shitty? Okay. Yeah, I can see it as shitty. Mm, 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 mm. Been tested, but need to hold this. That means, yeah. Yeah, so this can still do some sketchy things and then pop. You keep holding you 0.5, then it's fine. Just because this starts as well turn around, but that's what you aim for. Hold this. Definitely August. And then flip weekly. This been tested, so fuck you, I guess. And then February is the next resistance area. But that's always gonna be a major pullback on it. So yeah, keep that in mind. I have no clue what it is, but it's not that shit. It's still okay. More or less better than the ones that you used to show me. Oh yeah, that one is going to it. So you're gonna have something like this, I guess. February might be. Be careful, he's not gonna sweep the lows from it. Oh yeah, February is your next major resistance area, and you need to hold August. That to break, still okay, I guess, but then you might range it for longer. I don't think you're gonna pull up that quickly on it. So yeah. Pendle. I don't think Pendle changed that much from the last time, but what the fuck is that? ETHFI. Isn't Jesus? Isn't shitty, bro. Haves us one. So already by looking structure wise, you're doing this again. So the pop, yes, might come in. But then where do you aim to regain that? What's gonna be? Bearish retest. What does that mean? Going back into the structure and hopefully you're gonna do this. Now looking at levels. Structure wise, okay, grinding it, but you're holding the low, so that's fine. You just need to pop to February. And see, that's what I meant. Going back into the February the first time, where did you get it? All the way over here. And now you start to grind and pick it up again. Now do it again with the yearly and then you can go higher. But that's still okay. And right now, just hold on this. It's fine. Coming lower, possible. Yes, but not ideally. This is good. Hold in August. Yeah. Regain that. It's been tested. Not gonna hold you anymore. Where do you go next? Yearly. Nice. I like that. If it holds August. I like that. If not, then you're gonna do some damage to the downs. Fucking hell, pen. Ah, one go. Look at that. As I've been mentioned, I guess. Nice. I seriously like this. Regain of the, I mean, yeah, you did regain the ASM, but after you came the first time into it, this failure was obvious, right? You came back. Where do you come back? You retest fucking this swing. You even didn't come lower. After that, pull up and you regain the fucking day center. But after that, you of course failed it. So still, yes, potentially you can go come lower either way to Q4. So this could play out. And then, to be honest with you, the last stop before you're gonna move higher, it's gonna be this. Yeah. This UTP area. Holding Q4 or yearly, this UTP area. I don't think this gonna go lower than Q4. It shouldn't. After this move, very nice. I like that regain back of the December straight. Interesting stuff. Holdings? Yeah, I remember you had that one, yeah. I guess we set up some TPs over here, right, for you? To remember it exactly, but we have a couple of tokens keeping a track on, so Marvi. Okay, cool. Yeah, I guess there was something over here before December in this area. We set up the TP, so yeah. Similar what I just said. Good stuff. Good, 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 good. And you see? That's why I meant. Before December taking TPs. Why? First time coming back into it after the failure. Always. Always a reaction from it. It's a no-brainer. How is this doing? Grab some liquidity. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. How does that look like? Oh, yeah. Bang on. Bang on. Trend lines. All about trend lines, right? Trend lines. Trend lines. Trend lines. Trend lines. Trend lines. Where is Viking when you need him? How is this fucking penguin doing? Still holding that shit? Jesus. It didn't fucking die yet. But hey, trend lines. I see that trend lines, yeah. You guys stealing my memes. SMT. Yeah, that's been doing quite good. Fucking love it. And here, another example. First time you came into the February, what did you get? Bang. Always. Then you had a fucking perfect regain. Failing on November. Holding of the structure. Bro, if that's not gonna go to yearly, then I don't know anymore. It's been doing quite nice. This holding this flip? Holy fuck. That's nice. Why? Why? What you get when you do this. Bang. I like it. January, not gonna hold you. It's been freaking tested. I will aim for the spot backs, of course, for some TP. If people are from here, if not from fucking highs. Q4. That's the TP. And next one is gonna be 0.4. I think that's as well what I set it up on mine. Those two. Front run the Q4 and this bearish retest. I think I have those ones on my exchange. But I need to check. 0.30. Oh, you're gonna be here for a while. Yeah, Q4. So yeah, but those are the next points of interest. Let's see if we're gonna reach $1 on it. Would be nice. Seriously, would be nice if we could. Technically, this is freaking all retested, but anyhow, just going by structure, would be nice to come back here. So far, nice run up. And this is already like the strength is there, right after this whole fucking movement. But yeah, of course we had it as well over here, but that was a little bit more on liquidity grab as well. But so far, this is the strength from the lows, what you settled, and you start to regain as well your previous whole grind session, what you had over here. And now it just position hold. And I mean, come on, this is no brainer that this is a fucking support become right now, right? With all of this bullshit over here. And that's coming into it even. Yeah, fine. Right? Holding this and regaining and go higher. Yep. It is. Now, if you're gonna aim for the best spot backs ever, oh yeah, I wonder when that's gonna die. It's gonna be September or October. Not much left. Just fill the gap, right? Okay, I'm not gonna bitch about it because that's not the point of it, and I don't care. So far, we really trying. Hmm. Yeah. This is what seriously I want to see in the next couple days. No, and unfortunately, they are a little bit different from each other. So, how's this doing? Oh yeah, nice. That's the V bottom what you want to see. Jesus, this is freaking perfect. Doing that shit, like this regain of it. Fucking hell. Been a while, so such a nice V bottom. Nice. Now, continue. Mm, 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 mm. Not much left, right? On the sheeties. On the sheeties. Oh yeah, it's gonna be interesting week. That's for sure. And you saying that, I mean, technically looking as well on the RSI, and that's gonna be on weekly 24. We stepping off from the weak positions what we've been in for a couple days. Now, seriously, the aim is not coming back anymore. Just to aim to go higher on the market, but we still can do some sideways on it, just because there is still plenty to do. Per, I'm gonna have a look in per, and this as well. If we start to go and grab anything about 109, yeah, then this pocket's gonna be a little bit more interesting on a lower time frame. See, it start to get a little bit thicker. Of course, the top side is much more appealing to get. Well, let's see how that's gonna play out. And like I've been saying, this still is interesting, right? If we start to go lower, possible, right? But then you get Q3, and then might do. Would be nice to get this, right? The V bottom on it. That would be perfect. So, you said. As even I've been mentioning this as well to hold. That's always going to be a good buy. Everything around this area. Of course, we still can go lower on it because it is a meme coin and it can do freaking bullshit moves to the downside or grab liquidity. All possible. But to be honest with you, after that, you had this double, seriously, literally double bottom low on it. This retest and regain of that sends you all the way to June and February again. Yeah, that's nice stuff. And it doesn't even come back to the structure over here to retest. You just hold August perfectly. Yeah, this is really good. And we might do something like this again, right? And then one more move, all possible, or range the shit out of it, right? Over here, do one more, then send. Still possible, but yeah, like I've been mentioning, this area, it's a good buy, and it's been like twice already. So yeah, Nice one. Where does it go from here? If and only if, and don't mind the wicks just because that's on the gate. There is no hyperliquid chart for it on the trading view. Like already said over here, this is the point of interest to regain all of this bullshit over here. Regaining that, where does it bring you? Right there. Right? There's not much else to do anymore. Yeah, there is some structure, but Pearl doesn't give a shit about the structure that much, that heavily. So it still can go ballistic and do something like this, come back, grind, and then do another one, right? But let's see. Those are the first levels I aim for. Let's see if we're gonna even reach this. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Like I said, this still will be the positions to buy if we're gonna start to come back to it. But either way, we still can settle high or low. So doing this, going back, buy, and off you go. Yes, all possible. Yeah, good stuff. I have a funny story. I have a little bit painful experience with a cat. We've been a couple days ago. We've been a friend's house and they bought a new cat, and that beast fucking scratched the shit out of me. All my legs and my hands are scratched up. So not such a fun experience with purr so far. Ooh, yes, baby, go time. Yeah, he didn't want to play with me, so she was a little bit scratchy. Um, maybe just a little bit. I've been like going like spinning her around and like throwing her on the couch and everything. So maybe that was the payback. But hey, I give her food. Mm, 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 mm. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Oh, that's even better. That whole stuff. Say. How's Cookie doing? Holy fuck. Did this seriously go that low? Oopsie. Oopsie doopsie. Okay. My ladies and gentlemen, is there anything else that you want to look here and see? Because if not, just pay attention. Any of the regain above us, definitely the weekly, it's most important one, and then off we go and see how high we're gonna reach. I will keep an eye on the charts on the tablet. I'm gonna bring with mouse, or maybe a laptop. Let's see. I will keep an eye on it, but I'm not gonna be in Discord. Definitely not. Yeah. Or if I'm gonna be back, I hope before next Wednesday. Let's see how the things go. And if not, then not. Yeah. So those are the levels. I will post a little bit later as well in the chat recap when I upload everything, and then Sayonara. Yeah, Marvin, I'm surprised that you are here, actually. I was driving. Ah, okay. I was driving, that's why. That's why. But yeah, keep an eye on it. And let's see. The most important thing is going to be weekly close. How are we going to close up the weekly? That's going to be important. I wish it's going to be above the previous weekly open, what you have over here. So it's going to create a bullish one. If not, we might fill the wick again and then have a continuation. Let's see. But after that, the monthly is going to be interesting. Yeah, it doesn't say much how it's going to open up. But still, it's going to be a little bit better if we're going to close below or above August. So let's see. Let's see how that's going to play out. And to be honest with you, I will seriously don't mind to do this. And then bye-bye. Say bye-bye. Lights out. But anyhow, we'll see in a couple days, I guess, right? But this is already good. Regain the retest of the daily. You hold it, and then you just aim for the weekly right now. So that's the most important. Anyhow, have a good one, guys. Please be nice, behave, and I will keep an eye. I think on some of the chats in the night. Let's see. If not, then I will see you next week. Have a good one, guys, and be nice to Eagle as well. Please, he's sensitive. Moon as well. I'm checking if you guys here. If not, you fuckers. Good. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. And I will see you on the flip side.